Hi everyone, this is Cherokee Steve, aka the Cheap Air Gunner. Really excited about today's video because it features one of my favorite guns that I worked on. Gotta be in the top two at the very least. It is a Crosman 2289, also known as the Backpacker. Comes with the Doomsday Bug Out Kit. I bought that back in January of this year. On sale, you can get these for under $80. Backpack is fairly nice. I think it's definitely an upgrade from what they used to offer. Comes with a lot of extras, canteen. You know, it's supposed to be a survival kit, but whether or not you'd actually survive a doomsday scenario, I don't know. The gun itself is awesome. Super accurate, powerful enough to take down small game, and this is stock. But I went ahead and, of course, modified mine, as I do with most of my air guns. Number one, I just want to say Crosman's guns in general I think, are extremely good buys for the money. They are accurate. Some have decent power. All can be modified and increase the power if you so desire. You can leave it alone, use it for plinking and target practicing. This is various pistols and rifles that Crosman manufactures. But there are other reasons why they're really good to work on. They're relatively simple. There's a ton of information out on the web about how to do it for any specific gun. And in addition, Crosman's website itself is really good. If you need a diagram with a parts breakdown, every part for a particular model, you very well can find it on Crosman's website. That's, if you're thinking about modifying any Crosman gun that you have, that's the first thing I would do, is go to their website and download the parts diagram for the gun. Just will make your life so much easier disassembling, especially reassembling the gun. But this is the gun. It's called the Backpacker because it comes with a backpack, and the stock itself is removable and breaks down into two pieces and can easily fit in a backpack. So that's why it's called that. It's 22 caliber. Crosman claims it could shoot 650 feet per second. Now that, in my opinion, has to be with lead-free pellets, which no one's going to use. You shouldn't be, at least, doing any decent distance target shooting with lead-free pellets. They're too light, they're too inaccurate, they fly off, they lose velocity extremely quickly. So you're going to use a 22 caliber lead pellet, which I believe Crosman also has a claim velocity for that. I think it's 610 feet per second. Now, with this stock and a middle-of-the-road weighted 22 lead pellet, maximum I was able to get was 580 feet per second. And that's with what they claim should be the maximum amount of pumps. 10 pumps. So, now, I sat down and started to plan this gun out and come up with the desired velocity I wanted and the appearance of the gun, this came out almost exactly how I had planned, which normally doesn't happen. Uh, which is also another reason why it is one of, if not the favorite air gun that I own. Um, yes, it is a pumper. Um, there are advantages and disadvantages to that. You got to supply the air source yourself. Um, can be pumped because of the modifications I made more than 10 times for increased power, but along with that increased pumping comes increased energy expended by me, the user. Um, that would be a disadvantage. That is not really important compared to the advantages, in my opinion, which the air is always there. You know, it's not going to run low on air like a PCP can. You're not going to run low on CO2 like a CO2 rifle can or CO2 pistol. It's not temperature sensitive the way that CO2 is. You know, you go out in fairly cool weather and you're not going to achieve the maximum velocities that you can in warmer weather with a CO2 gun. The pumper doesn't have any of that affecting it. It's always got a supply of air, since it's using the air around the gun that you're pumping into it, and it's not temperature sensitive. And it takes me back, you know, the first gun I ever had was a Crosman 760 Pump Master. So one of the big reasons I got into air gunning was it took me back to my childhood and rekindled the thoughts I have waking up early Sunday mornings and going out with some buddies and hunting squirrels and rabbits with our pellet guns. One of the big reasons I got back into air gunning. And this kind of reminds me of that because it's a pumper like the Power Master. But it's a pretty good gun. Anyway, let's get into the breakdown of what I did with it. First of all, the exterior and mainly appearance related changes that I made. Obviously, I painted it. You know, it's a black pump handle, and the stock is black. I used what I called a winter camo paint scheme. Basically black, gray, and white. Starting with the gray, putting in black and then white paint using natural branches, leaves that I found outside as a cover to give the paint scheme in between the coats. Lots of videos on how to camo paint your guns. Not really going to get too much into that, other than you want to use flat paint. I did clear coat it with a matte clear coat. One other thing I did on the grip here, I used a product called Plasti Dip. Very durable. I have it. The wheels on my Jeep Wrangler are painted with Plasti Dip, have been for years. This is where I live in the Midwest, we get bad winters. It survived through all of that. This is holding up pretty nicely as well, and it's got a rubbery texture to it. So the other thing I did was change the pump handle. The newer version of this gun comes with a fairly narrow grip, pump handle grip, and I like the older version of the 2289. That's the model designation for the backpacker. Crosman 2289, which had a fatter pump handle, which I like. Now, it's nearly impossible to find those. I tried, the plastic versions that used to come with it. Crosman doesn't sell. And looking all over the internet for one, I had no luck finding them. Now, there are companies out there that will sell wooden copies. That's what this is. It's a wooden copy of the older pump handle version. I bought this particular one from Alliance Hobby. There's also another place called Alchemy Airworks that sells pretty much the identical version. The only difference is the Alliance Hobby version had checkering on the pump handle, which I preferred to a smooth finish, which is what you get with the Alchemy Airworks version. You have the checkering, but they're both great places to buy aftermarket parts for. That's where I got the pump handle from. Painted, clear coated it. I tried staining it, and it just did not come out the way that I wanted it to. Thought it would look better than painting. Ended up just painting it the same way I painted the rear stock here. But other appearance-wise changes that I made was to polish a lot of the parts. The trigger guard and the pump tube are still the original, Crosman blued metal, more blackish in appearance. But I added a steel breech, polished it, polished the probe, the bolt handle, the barrel, the caps on the back of both the breech and the pump tube. I added Alchemy Airworks muzzle brake. This really fit the color scheme very nicely with the black and silver aluminum. It's aluminum accents. Does not serve as a moderator or a silencer in any way. It's just for looks. But I like the way that it looked. That kind of got away from my philosophy of cheap air gunning. But I thought it was worth adding that with the way the rest of the gun was turning out, which I thought was pretty nice. Let's see, what else is there? Made my own power adjuster. Had to drill and tap through the back of the pump tube, quarter 20 thread. The knob itself, what I found out, if you go on eBay and you search for motorcycle seat screws,